God says, listen closely, my beloved soul. Not with fear. Not with urgency. But with a quiet heart that is ready to remember love. Right now, as you are reading this, heaven is not shouting at you. Heaven is gently leaning toward you. There is a softness in the air around your spirit, a familiar warmth that you may not fully understand yet. That warmth is not imagination. It is remembrance. It is love that never learned how to disappear. Archangel Michael stands not as a warrior in this moment, but as a guardian of memories. He is not bringing pressure. He is bringing peace. He is reminding you that bonds formed in love are never erased by time, distance, or even death. They simply change their language. There is someone from your family who once knew your laugh, your silence, your struggles, and your strength. Someone who watched you grow, or stood beside you during moments that shaped who you are today. Their presence is not lost. It has only become quieter, softer, more gentle, like a whisper instead of a voice. This message is not about sadness. It is about reassurance. It is about the truth that love does not end when life changes form. The soul remembers. The heart remembers. And sometimes, heaven allows a moment where remembrance becomes comfort. You may have felt this already without realizing it. A sudden thought late at night. A memory that returns without pain. A sense of calm when you least expect it. These are not signs to frighten you. They are reminders meant to steady you. They arrive when your heart is strong enough to receive them without fear. God says, you are not being watched, you are being protected. You are not being warned, you are being embraced. The one who has passed is not reaching out because something bad will happen, but because something inside you is changing. You are entering a season where clarity replaces confusion, and peace replaces unanswered questions. Archangel Michael gently places understanding where uncertainty once lived. He reminds you that love never asks for urgency. Love waits patiently until the heart is ready. This moment came not because you were late or early, but because you are ready now. There is nothing you must do. Nothing you must promise. Nothing you must fear. Simply allow your heart to be still for a moment. In that stillness, you may feel gratitude instead of grief. Strength instead of loss. Calm instead of longing. This is not a goodbye. This is not a warning. This is a quiet acknowledgement that you are not alone, and never were. Heaven is not taking anything from you. Heaven is reminding you of what has always been with you. Remain here in peace. Let the message settle gently. The rest will unfold in its own time. God says, remain still for a moment and let your heart breathe. What is unfolding now is not sudden, and it is not dramatic. It is gentle, patient, and deeply personal. It is the kind of moment heaven waits to offer only when the soul is steady enough to receive it without fear and without confusion. There are connections that never break. They soften. They quiet down. They transform into something that does not need words anymore. The love you shared with the one who has passed did not end when their physical presence did. It became woven into your inner life, into your instincts, into the way you feel comforted without knowing why. Archangel Michael stands as a protector of this space, not to announce anything loudly, but to guard the tenderness of this moment. He does not rush you. He does not ask you to react. He simply holds the door open so remembrance can pass through without pain. You may notice that when you think of this person now, it feels different than before. The sharp edges are gone. The heaviness has softened. What remains is warmth, gratitude, and sometimes a quiet smile that appears without effort. This is not loss speaking anymore. This is love settling into peace. God says, the message being shared is not one of instruction. It is one of reassurance. It is the simple truth that you are seen, supported, and surrounded even when you walk paths that feel lonely. The one you remember does not come with sadness. They come with calm, because calm is what you need now. There are moments in life when the heart grows faster than the mind. When you begin to understand things emotionally before logic can catch up. You may be in such a season now. You are learning to trust what feels steady instead of what feels loud. You are learning that strength does not always announce itself. Sometimes it simply stays. This is why this message arrives quietly. Not to interrupt your life, but to align with it. Not to change your direction, but to affirm that the direction you are already walking is guided. The presence you feel is not pulling you backward. It is standing behind you, offering support as you move forward. God says, nothing from the past is holding you. Everything that loved you wants you free. Free to grow, free to rest, free to choose peace without guilt. You are not meant to carry grief forever. You are meant to carry wisdom, compassion, and calm. Notice how your breathing slows when you accept this. Notice how your body relaxes when you stop searching for meaning and allow meaning to arrive naturally. This is the language of heaven, not urgency, but clarity. The one who has passed does not ask you to remember every detail. They ask you to live well. To trust yourself. To allow joy without questioning whether it is allowed. They are not watching you with expectation. They are cheering quietly as you become lighter. God says, you do not need signs to prove this moment is real. Peace itself is the confirmation. When the heart rests without explanation, when the mind stops racing, when you feel grounded instead of pulled, that is alignment. Remain open, not alert. Remain calm, not cautious. Remain present, not pressured. This message continues to unfold gently, layer by layer, exactly as your heart is able to receive it. Nothing more is required from you right now. Just stay with the stillness. God says, there is a deeper layer to this moment, and it unfolds only when the heart is quiet enough to listen without asking questions. What is being shared now is not about memory alone, but about continuity. Love does not disappear when a body rests. It transforms into guidance, into subtle strength, into a presence that supports without being seen. You may have noticed that certain decisions you make lately feel calmer than before. Not rushed. Not forced. Almost as if something within you gently leans you toward what feels right instead of what feels loud. This is not coincidence. This is the wisdom that was planted in you through love, now awakening at the right time. God says, the one you remember does not stand apart from your journey. They walk with you in a different way now. Not beside you physically, but within the values you carry, the patience you show, the compassion you offer even when no one is watching. Their voice has become part of your inner balance. There are moments when you pause without knowing why. Moments when your heart softens unexpectedly. Moments when you feel guided away from conflict and toward peace. These moments are not random. They are gentle reminders that you are supported in choosing what preserves your spirit. The message being shared is simple, yet profound. You are not meant to live with heaviness. You are meant to live with awareness. Awareness that you are not alone in carrying responsibility. Awareness that love continues to assist you long after words have ended. God says, some people move through life believing they must carry everything themselves. But you are learning that support does not always come as help from others. Sometimes it comes as inner steadiness. Sometimes it comes as a calm refusal to repeat old patterns. Sometimes it comes as the courage to rest. This is why this message does not arrive with urgency. It arrives with reassurance. Nothing is being demanded from you. Nothing is being taken from you. Something is simply being placed back into your heart, the permission to live lightly. You may reflect on the past and realize how much you have grown. Not by becoming harder, but by becoming wiser. Not by closing off, but by understanding when to open and when to remain still. This growth is not accidental. It is the result of love that continues to teach even after farewell. God says, there is no unfinished business attached to this connection. There is no regret being sent. There is no sorrow being placed upon you. What is being shared is peace, the kind of peace that allows you to move forward without guilt, without hesitation, without fear of forgetting. You are not forgetting anyone by choosing joy. You are honoring them by living fully. You are honoring them by trusting your intuition. You are honoring them by creating a life that reflects the kindness and strength they once offered you. Notice how your mind feels less crowded when you accept this. Notice how the tension softens when you stop trying to interpret signs and simply receive calm. This is alignment. This is what spiritual clarity feels like, not excitement, not anxiety, but balance. God says, the path ahead of you does not require constant effort. It requires presence. When you are present, guidance flows naturally. When you are present, decisions become clearer. When you are present, you recognize when to move and when to wait without struggle. The one who has passed does not wish to pull you into the past. They wish to see you grounded in the now. They wish to see you trust yourself. They wish to see you release unnecessary burdens and choose simplicity over complexity. There may be times ahead when you sense their presence more strongly, not as emotion, but as calm certainty. As a quiet reassurance when you doubt yourself. As steadiness when you are unsure. This is not imagination. This is the language of love that has matured beyond form. God says, you are entering a phase of understanding where you no longer need explanations for everything. You are learning to recognize truth by how it feels, not by how it sounds. And what feels peaceful is always safe. Allow this message to settle without trying to hold on to it. Let it become part of you naturally, the way breathing becomes part of life without effort. Nothing more is expected of you in this moment. Just remain open. Just remain steady. Just remain kind to yourself. The unfolding continues gently, exactly as your heart can receive it. God says, now listen, not with urgency, not with expectation, but with trust. This moment is not about receiving something new, it is about understanding what has always been with you. Some truths do not arrive loudly. They settle quietly, like light filling a room at dawn, changing everything without asking for attention. You may have spent time wondering why certain lessons stayed with you longer than others, why certain values feel unshakable even when life tries to test them. This is because love does not end when life changes form. It deepens. It becomes guidance instead of instruction, presence instead of conversation. God says, the one you carry in your heart has no unfinished words left. Everything that needed to be said was already planted in you through moments you once shared. The patience you show now, the restraint you choose, the calm you protect. These are the messages continuing through you. There is no need to search for signs. There is no need to replay memories to keep them alive. Love that has fulfilled its purpose becomes part of your foundation. It supports you quietly, allowing you to build forward without looking back. You may notice that lately you feel less drawn to noise, less interested in proving yourself, less affected by opinions that once mattered. This is not withdrawal. This is clarity. This is the natural result of carrying wisdom that does not need validation. God says, the message being shared now is about permission. Permission to live freely. Permission to rest without guilt. Permission to move forward without feeling like you are leaving anyone behind. No one you love wants you to stay bound to yesterday. You are allowed to choose peace even when others choose chaos. You are allowed to slow down even when the world rushes. You are allowed to trust your inner sense of timing instead of reacting to pressure. The one who has passed understands your journey better than anyone else ever could, because they now see beyond moments and into meaning. They know the weight you have carried. They know the strength you have shown without being seen. And they want you to know that nothing you are becoming dishonors what you were. God says, sometimes people confuse remembrance with attachment. But true remembrance does not hold you back. It steadies you. It reminds you who you are when you forget. It encourages you to choose wisely, gently, intentionally. You may feel drawn to simplify your life, fewer explanations, fewer justifications, fewer emotional debts. This is alignment. This is the natural unfolding of someone who is no longer trying to fill absence, but honoring presence. Notice how your heart responds when you stop resisting stillness. Notice how answers come without effort when you stop demanding clarity. This is the language of trust. God says, there is no rush attached to your future. What is meant for you will not require anxiety to reach you. What is meant for you will recognize you in calm. The one you love is not asking you to hold on. They are asking you to stand tall. To live honestly. To choose what brings stability instead of survival. To protect your inner peace as something sacred. You are not being watched. You are being supported. There may be moments ahead when you feel a quiet confidence rise without reason. Moments when you feel reassured without explanation. Moments when you choose the right path without knowing why. This is not coincidence. This is continuity. God says, this message is complete when you stop trying to analyze it and allow it to settle. There is nothing you need to do differently right now. There is only something you need to remember: you are already guided. Let go of the idea that love must always feel emotional to be real. Some love becomes strength. Some love becomes discernment. Some love becomes peace. You are not alone in your decisions. You are not unsupported in your growth. You are not disconnected from those who mattered. You are carrying them forward in the most meaningful way, by living well. Allow yourself to breathe without holding expectation. Allow yourself to trust without seeking reassurance. Allow yourself to move forward knowing that what mattered has already shaped you. This is not an ending. This is integration. This is balance. This is peace. And now, before this message gently closes, receive this final reminder not as instruction, but as encouragement. You are safe to continue. You are supported to grow. You are free to live fully. If this message brought calm to your heart, like this video so it reaches others.